Welcome to a very special episode of Discourse, a podcast about music as a medium for conversation. This is our holiday special, and we're going to explore some festive songs with our guest, Elijah B. Moore. Elijah is an actor based out of Chapel Hill, North Carolina, best known for playing Wade on CW Legacies. He's also a DJ and a great lover of karaoke, and he has an adorable 5-month-old puppy named Artemis. If you hear her in the background, that's what's happening. Elijah, you said your parents tried to give you a well-rounded exposure to music growing up. What exactly did that look like for you?
I grew up homeschooled, and my folks were very conservative Christian homeschoolers, which normally lends itself to I listen to Veggie Tales and K-Love, and that's about it. But my dad's a big fan of music, and so he was like, "No, I need my kids to know what music is like." So we listened to the radio, whatever the pop station is. But the best example of it was we had a whole bunch of CDs that we'd take turns getting to pick who got to pick what we listened to in the car. And my favorite to pick was normally the Beatles' One album. And so we listened to that all the time growing up. And then I think I was in high school, maybe after high school. I asked my dad, we were talking about what the greatest songs of all time was. And I said, surely there's got to be a Beatles song up there. What Beatles song would you pick? Or I asked him, what's your favorite Beatles song? And he said, I actually never really cared for the Beatles. And I was like, we listened to them all the time growing up. What are you talking about? And he said, well, I wanted you kids to hear the Beatles because I recognize how significant they are to music, but I just personally don't care for them. And I was like, damn, that's pretty solid. It's for, you'd think most parents would just be like, we're listening to my favorite music and that's it. But
right.
for him to be like, no, you should probably hear this. That being said, his favorite artist is Bruce Springsteen, and we still listen to a lot of Bruce Springsteen growing up. But he made sure to add some variety as well.
Well, that was very responsible of him.
Exactly.
I appreciate that. Well, we have a great selection on today's episode. We have a few classics, some deep tracks, and some curveballs. So I'm excited to dig in. Let's go ahead and get started. Here we go. Music starts in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. This first track is The Wintering by the 1975. It was released on Being Funny in a Foreign Language on Dirty Hit in 2022. Elijah, tell us about this song.
I love this song so much. It's about someone going home for the holidays. The kind of continuing refrain is, I'll be home on the 23rd. And he's talking about his family and how weird they are and whatever. And what I like about it so much is, first of all, that line, John's obsessed with fat ass and he's 10 years old, I think is very funny. It's just very, I think of it like holiday neutral almost. With family reunion songs, it can go kind of one of two ways, either sentimental or dreading. And this is just like, no, it's kind of crazy and sucks sometimes, but it's also nice sometimes. But whatever it's gonna be, I'm gonna be home on the 23rd. Like all this stuff going on, and I think that was really refreshing.
Yeah, I do like that. It sounds like, a normal kind of alt song.
Yeah.
But it is still very, holiday, wintry.
Right. And that line and the line coming up always makes my sister and I laugh, thinking about our mom, where he says, I'm giving my chair to my mom because her back hurts. And then woman, you are 64 years old. Yeah, Yeah, I just came for the stuff and not to argue about nothing. Kind of sums it up. And I love the holidays. I'm a big fan of seeing my family again. We've got most of our family is in Tennessee. About my extended family, most of my immediate family is here in North Carolina, except for a sister and brother-in-law and nephew that's over in on the other side of the country. Mm. But yeah, I mean, it sums it up where it's like I've never felt like very peaches and cream, everything's sunshine and roses about the holidays, but I've also never been like, ugh, the holidays are the worst time.
Yeah.
It's kind of a little bit of both.
Yeah, that's true. All right, this next song is Santa Baby by Eartha Kitt. It was released as a single on RCA Victor in 1953. Raja, tell us about this one.
Yeah, I had to include this song. I think it's one of the first flirty kind of Christmas songs. And Eartha Kitt, just an icon. For me, this song reminded me of the first time I was able to get some of the spiked eggnog that was for adults. And it felt warm, fuzzy, and nice. And that's what I feel when I listen to this. Warm, fuzzy, and nice. And it also makes me think about the indulgence of the holidays and wanting to have the nice things, new things, but just not just for the holidays, but in general, when you are someone like Eartha Kitt who is classic and classy, there's a sort of like warm glow you get from just enjoying nice things, not just because um, of like materialism per se, but because of how you feel internally. It's like, I've been good, I deserve good things. So Santa will come across, the nice things, because I've been good. It's just like cute and flirty, and I think it appeals to multiple generations as well. Because it's simple, and everybody wants something sometimes, something nice at some time. It doesn't have to be for, Christmas per se, but around this time, I think a lot of people, like in preparation for the new year, you're thinking about that new winter coat, or for me, it was snow boots. I love snow boots so I can go in the snow. So definitely get some nice snow boots. If we get snow,
right?
Just thought about global
Not
warming.
likely. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna still wear the boots though.
Oh yeah, you can wear them in the rain too.
That's a good point. Yes. Hop in some puddles so we have beginning rain.
And this is one of the songs that gets covered so often. Like for a long time, I didn't like it because there's so many kind of not amazing covers.
Mhm.
But this, the original is still so good.
So good.
Yeah, and it has that kind of like, whenever I think of like being in the winter and like the twinkly lights, like this is the kind of like, music that I think of like playing in the background.
Mhm.
I was running karaoke for church youth group some time ago, and it was Christmas time, so people would come up and request Christmas songs, and two students picked that song, and I said, hey, think about that for like 2 more seconds and then decide if you want to sing that at your church youth group. And they were like, nah, that's a good point.
Good looking out.
Yes.
All right, this next song is Feliz Navidad by Jose Feliciano. It was released on Feliz Navidad on BMG Heritage in 2002. Carla, tell us about this one.
Yeah, so this is kind of like the quintessential like Latino Christmas song, because it's also a very good song because it shows how connected like Puerto Rico is to the U.S. because it has a chorus in English. So there you go, current political climate. And I love the song because it's kind of like, I feel like it's a good song for like immigrants, or like it represents a lot of how like immigrants feel around the holidays, because I think there's like this like patriotic love that like immigrants feel towards the United States, which is like, yeah, like we're keeping our culture, you know, like Feliz Navidad and like Prospero Año. And then also like, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. And it's also been covered a few times, but he's kind of like our Mariah Carey, you know?
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like so catchy. I wish you a Merry Christmas. And it just kind of like, it always puts me in a very good mood, this song.
Yeah, I was actually, I don't know if this is just a newer re-release of the song, but 2002, is that really when it was originally released?
Yeah.
I felt so. Like it should have been older, because it's just always been a song that's been around.
Yeah. Well, because like Feliciano himself, I don't know if this is a remix actually, now I'm thinking about it, because like Feliciano is like a, you know, he sings like ballads. Mm-hmm. So I always knew him for this one song he has about a drunk guy who is heartbroken at the bar and like cuts his lip on a glass of wine. So then to hear him go from that to like Feliz Navidad is like a whole vibe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Christmas is for everybody.
Yeah. And I think like other artists have done like different kinds of covers on it. I think there's like a 2014 version of it has like a reggaeton remix. But yeah, it's been around for a while.
That's great.
Yeah. Oh, actually, it's been around since 1970. That was the first iteration.
That sounds way more accurate.
Yeah, I first heard it in 2002 when I moved to the States, but yeah.
That tracks.
All right, this next song is December is for Cynics by the Matches. I cannot, skip this song. So hold on, it was released as a single. Where my notes are gone again. All right. Anyway, yeah. So I love this song so much. It's like an anti-Christmas song, but it's complicated. So the Matches are like my favorite band. I've mentioned them before. Pop punk from the early 2000s, and I really wish I had my notes up here. Sorry, Elijah, you were gonna say something. Go ahead and say it.
I was just gonna say, I love how as soon as it started, I was like, "Oh, this is Heather's pick."
Thank you. I appreciate that. I
do love this. I don't think I've ever heard this before.
No, it's fantastic. It was released as a single. I'll look up the release notes later. It got lost in my breakdown. But there's so many great lines in it. It's like "So to hell with holiday romantics," and there's a verse about like, "We agreed not to do presents, but I brought you," here we go, "a bottle of wine and these full of flowers, this vinyl." Then I know we made it clear no presents this year, but then it talks about like playing the song backwards, and this is something that they've played with in their music before. Like they have a music video I talked about in our first episode of they had to sing the song backwards to record it, and they're like Easter egg backwards things and a couple things. And this, I think they actually say, I think it's the name of their first album. It's in there backwards, so you can't really tell what the audio is. But they do a lot of Easter eggy things like that, which is a lot of why I love them.
Yeah, I love finding the Easter egg.
But this is also, on tough years, which this is probably one of them, it's nice to have kind of a more cynical song to throw in the mix with all the festive, because sometimes the Christmas people just make it too much. It's like, I can't be happy. I'm sorry. I don't have it.
That's real. It's real.
I feel like this might be that for me this year, because with everything that's happening in the world, I feel like I'm not feeling like the holiday cheer or like the festivity. I don't know if I'm just becoming more cynical with age, but it's like, I don't know. I'm not feeling like the holidays when so much is happening.
Yeah.
You know? And then there's always like December is also like one of the months of highest depression and anxiety around the world because you're expected to be jolly.
Yeah, that's very true.
Seasonal depression.
All right.
It's so fun. I love this.
Good, thank you.
I say this so fun after Carla saying, yeah, it's the highest rate for depression and people are sad. I'm like, this is awesome.
It's great. I love a depressing holiday.
So that was released as a single on Pretend record label 2016. That is the end of round one. It is time for a message from our sponsor. We don't have any, so I usually just pitch something I like, but actually today it's more of a request than a promo. So if you watch us on YouTube, you may have noticed the mannequin in the background. Every episode he has a different shirt on. It's a different band. I do a little video on TikTok for it. But if you want your band to be featured on the mannequin, send me a t-shirt. We have a P.O. box listed on the website. You can send it there. Black is preferred, obviously. I myself am like a men's medium, so that or bigger would be preferable. Yeah, so get a little free promo in there. All right, let's go into round two. Here we go. This is An Old-Fashioned Christmas, Daddy's Home by Linda Bennett. It was released on Mercury Records in 1975. Elijah, this song is so unhinged.
This is the only Christmas song, maybe the only song, where they say the line, "There were no survivors."
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I could not find the streaming anywhere. I had to get it from YouTube for us to listen to. So the link will be somewhere in our show notes and stuff. Just, it's worth going to. Please go see it, people.
Yes, it's unhinged is exactly the word. I think I found this like a couple years ago because it was on like Instagram or TikTok. Someone was talking about it, and it's so perfectly cliched Christmas song for like this whole section. It's mom and the kids waiting on dad to come home, and then it's interrupted. It's interrupted by these little snippets of other Christmas songs that are then interrupted by news bulletins talking about a bus crash that's happened in town. And it's terrifying, this right here.
There we go.
It gets so serious and dramatic.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then, yeah, the kids are like, "Hey, Mom, isn't that Dad's bus?" And she's like,
god.
"No, he's fine, kids. I'm sure it's
Oh my god.
it's gonna be fine." And the kids start like complaining, or not complaining, but like, you know, they're like, if we don't have our dad, who's gonna tuck me in at night? And the son is like, who's gonna give me presents? And it's like, really, you're thinking about presents when your dad just died, kid?
But also the daughter is like, who's gonna walk me down the aisle? Like, aren't you 10? Why is this your first question?
Yeah, what?
And it's funny also, like, An Old-Fashioned Christmas is such a specific title for this that
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it's like they keep singing like in denial.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a
This
perfect
reminds me
Christmas.
of like 6 Feet Under.
Right.
You know,
Oh,
like the first episode of 6 Feet Under, where it's like, you know, there all these different things are happening, and it's like, it's Thanksgiving though, and it's not Christmas, but.
Mm-hmm.
This is my favorite when she comes in. She was so optimistic. No, everything's gonna be fine, kids. Don't worry. Then the bulletin says there were no survivors, and she starts, "Oh my God, this cannot happen."
Daddy's not coming home.
Daddy's not. Yeah, Daddy's not home.
Yep. Perfect
Artemis
input,
doesn't like it
Artemis.
Yes, thank you,
Yeah.
Artemis.
Artemis is like, yep, emphasis.
Oh, who's ringing the doorbell of his own home?
Yep.
So, yay, happy ending. Dad missed the bus. He wasn't on the bus.
Great.
Now they're singing, it's gonna be a good old-fashioned happy holiday Christmas. Forgetting the 70 people that just died in a fiery bus crash.
Yep.
Oh my God. Well, it's like we were talking about. It's like you just go on celebrating like the rest of the world is not up in flames.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's the best Christmas song.
It's there's nothing like it. So this next song is Sleigh Ride by TLC. It was released on a LaFace Family Christmas on LaFace Records in 1993. Raja, tell us about this one.
Yeah, this is a great song to end the year with, because you know the traditional saying of Happy Holidays and a Happy New Year. This was on the 1982 soundtrack for Home Alone 2. So I always think about that movie when I hear this song, and particularly the Wet Bandits. I think it's Sticky Bandits, but I like calling them the Wet Bandits. That name fits better to me. But I'm always thinking about just like how playful and silly that movie was, and how playful and kind of jovial and youthful this song is. It's a nice beat, the harmonies, and Left Eye's raps, and then of course T-Boz's unique sound, and then the harmonies brought in by Chili. It's just a great vibe. That's my favorite part, the giddy up.
Yeah.
It's just the playful rhythm of like the giddy up, and it's like a horse trot rhythm. So it's like this. I love it. And it gets me hyped for the new year.
Yeah. I love like songs that move away from, you know, like Christmas songs that move away from the typical like Twinkle Twinkle, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, and ones that just aren't covers to start with.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, a lot of these covers are very like, you know, when you listen to the lyrics, like what is the baby it's cold outside, that always gives me the creeps.
Yeah.
You know?
Is problematic.
It is creepy.
Yeah.
And this song actually, I think, is a cover. Or
is it?
Yeah, a revisioning of the song Sleigh Ride. I forget who it's by, but it's much slower. So this picks it up with the fast tempo and like the 90s feel. But it still went with the theme of Christmas covers, but with R&B, hip hop.
Yeah, I think that's what makes covers work, is when they really switch it up. Because especially with Christmas, most of the covers of Baby It's Cold Outside sound like Baby It's Cold Outside.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're able to like switch genres or just completely redo it, then might as well be a new song.
Yeah. Lucy's jamming to it.
Hey.
All right, this next song is Remember Me Lullaby by Gail Garcia Bernal. It is from the Coco soundtrack, released on Disney Pixar 2017.
Yeah, so I'm on a big like Coco and Pixar like jams. I was just in Mexico last week celebrating Day of the Dead. And of course this song is all about remembering your ancestors and, you know, setting up your ofrenda, your altar, so that they could come and visit you during the Day of the Dead. And for me, like, the October and November holidays are more big than Christmas, but I think, like, around Christmas I always get that sense, because it's also around my birthday, so I always get that more of, like, that nostalgia for family and, like, all the times we spend together and things like that. Yeah. It's very short.
Nice. It is very short. All right, this next song is Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney. It was released on McCartney 2 on Parlophone Columbia Records, 1980. So, I mean, Paul McCartney is such a staple in my household. Like, you know, the Beatles and all of his Wings and single albums or solo albums. He's such a powerhouse with music.
Yeah.
And this was just one that we listened to a lot growing up. So it's one of my favorite Christmas songs.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite Christmas songs. And I'm also a big, like, Beatles fan. Lucy is named Lucy after Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Ah.
It's one of the only songs that will perk her up. But yeah, I love this song. Having a wonderful Christmas time.
I like the funky music in it.
And I mean, it puts, I think, why it's so great right there. It's simple. It's just, no, we're having a good time. That's it.
Yeah. And I think that's, like, one of the magic pieces of Paul McCartney and, like, a lot of the lyrics that he writes is that they're not overly complicated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, same with, like, Yesterday, right? But they're always catchy. They get what you need to, you know, he encompasses what you need to feel. And then the rest of the song takes care of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are a lot of layers to it too, like the different changes in the song. I feel like he's really good at putting what the song needs in there, not just throwing things in because it feels like it needs more.
Yeah.
I think that's, like, hard to do for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah. I also feel like this is a song that you could always have, like, in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you don't get tired of it.
It's not too abrasive, like some other Christmas songs. It's very subtle.
Definitely like an arts and crafts type of song.
Yeah.
Gingerbread houses.
Yeah.
This little fun stuff, yeah.
Wonderful Christmas time. Having a wonderful Christmas time. Lucy. She's, like, really side-eyeing this song.
She doesn't like Paul McCartney?
She does. She likes the Beatles. But I think she side-eyes things when she likes it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get that. I have a cat whose love language is hissing, so. He's also very good at just making happy music.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to be unhappy with this song on.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, when you were saying he just cuts to the chase, he doesn't add in a whole lot of fluff. I think that's why I love the Beatles song "Why Don't We Do It in the Road" so much, is because that's all of the lyrics to that song is why don't we do it in the road?
Yeah.
No one's gonna catch us. Why don't we do it in the road? And I'm like, hey, if you got something to say, just say it. Don't write verses, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus. Like, just say it.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
I want to hold your hand.
All right, that is round 2. It is time for a note about production. Discourse is produced in partnership with Hey Awesome Girl, a full-service marketing and creative studio on a mission to help female entrepreneurs build and grow companies that empower their lives. Become a part of their awesome community by visiting heyawesomegirl.com/grow. All right, let's do round 3.
Lucy, you ready to get down? No.
Yeah. This is Father Christmas by the Kinks. It was released as a single on Arista Records in 1977. Elijah, tell us about this one.
This is my cynical Christmas song. Another gift of my father's here. He liked this one, so we listened to it growing up. And it's a great combination of it has all of the Christmas things it needs to have, the jingly bells and all that, but also obviously like rock guitar. And it's about a group of kids mugging Santa Claus as he's standing raising money for the Salvation Army.
Oh my God.
Everyone's experienced this kind of Christmas.
Right. Yeah.
But it's so funny how like it's easy to be, this is a funny song, it's, you know, kind of tongue in cheek or whatever. But then it also makes some like comments. It actually has some where he's saying, "Hey, we're poor kids. Just give us some money. Give the toys to the little rich boys." At one point, he's saying like, "Give my dad a job because he needs one. He's got a bunch of mouths to feed." And it's like, wow, that's really sweet. And then he says, "Also, give me a machine gun so I can scare the kids on the street." And it's like,
God.
all right, that's different.
Okay.
Not real.
Yeah, damn.
And
Gotta
then
go real quick.
And yeah, there's one like where the music gets really poignant, and it says, give my daddy a job because he needs one. Where it's like, remember the kids who have nothing while you're drinking down your wine, and it like throws it on us, the listener, and we're like, oh gosh, what is this song? Give us your money.
It's like a sneak attack. I like it when people do that. Like, you think you're just listening to some fun little thing, and they're like, oh shit, there's actually a message in here.
Exactly. And I always love a good guitar solo in the middle of a Christmas song, too.
It
Yeah,
sounds
it's
like a
great.
critique of like capitalism and the materialism of holidays and stuff.
That's absolutely what it's doing. It's, you know, and it's using charity Santa Claus as the poster child. Have yourself a Merry Christmas, have yourself a good time, but remember the kids who have nothing while you're drinking down your wine. It's like, hey, it's, and I don't want to say it's like a cynical thing for me, but it's like, I love being happy. Hot take here. I think it's good to be happy and feel joy, but also like, yeah, knowing that this time of year in particular isn't great for everyone. And like that question that some of us were astute enough to wonder as kids. I was not. I was an idiot of why does Santa give more toys to the rich kids? And yeah, kind of putting that critique on capitalism, that awareness on you of being like, hey, remember, we're not all as fortunate as others, and then putting it in this little catchy rock Christmas song.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Rima.
This next song is Holiday by Rima. It was released on Holiday Reason You on Maven Global and Jonesing World Entertainment in 2023. Raja, tell us about this one.
Yeah, I wanted to go kind of literal with this one. The song itself is talking about coming up from having to survive, and now you've made it, you can celebrate, and you can also reflect on the times where you essentially like prayed for this, and now it's like we can travel, we can go have fun, we can live a life. And so I think too, holidays, as far as taking a vacation, so like across the pond, if you say I'm on holiday, and so I was thinking
Oh.
about this, like when you take a vacation, or take a holiday, I think that's also a good time to reflect and be grateful about the things that we
Yeah.
have and are able to do. So for me, like when traveling, I'm very much a person who's nosy when I travel. So I cannot go
Mm.
to sleep when I'm traveling. And I love to
Ah.
take in the scenery change. And for me, it's like a time to reflect, think about things, and just be present in the moment. And so this song
Mm.
encompasses that for me. Just
Mm.
celebrating life and that feel of, taking time to rest, but also enjoying and taking note of the things that you do have, and just appreciating it. And it's
Yeah.
Afrobeat, so it's like you can dance to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that's like pick up the mood.
Yeah. I love this kind of music because also like it always makes me want to move my body, and I feel like music that makes me want to move my body like automatically like boosts my mood or like can help me
Yes.
change how I'm feeling.
Hmm.
I also like that Afro beats has become like because of TikTok and like Instagram and things like that, like more mainstream.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
It's really such a beautiful song.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be a cover of Green Day at first.
Okay.
I would love that. Now that I mention it, I really want to hear an Afrobeats cover of Green Day.
Mm.
That actually does sound fascinating. So this is Last Christmas by Wham. It was released on Last Christmas on Sony Music Entertainment in 1984. Carla, tell us about this one.
Yeah, so I love this song because it reminds me a lot of like my high school ex-boyfriend. Because he was really into the song, but not the Wham version, but I love Wham. And I feel like I don't know, I feel like it's such a great song that is not your typical like, Christmas song, but or like, oh, everything is magical on Christmas. Um, but it's like, well, I'm gonna have redemption for my broken heart, and I'll have someone at Christmas. And I feel especially like in like Latino families, every holiday, if you show up single, they're like, "Oh, where's your boyfriend?" Or if you have a boyfriend, or then if you have like a partner, they're like, "Where is your partner?" And what I think is funny is, you're expected to show up with your partner, but like, God forbid you go to your partner's Christmas and like miss your family's Christmas. So this song always like, I love it. Yeah.
I didn't think about it
Yeah.
that way. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I
This
also
is also
love anything you can dance. Go ahead, Heather.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this is also one of those songs that like tells an entire story over the length of it, which is not
Yeah.
as common as you might think. But I really enjoy that, the storytelling aspect.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love the chorus. It's like, this year, to save me from tears, I give it to someone special. Yeah. And like, I mean, there's so much pressure around the holidays, I feel. Like, that's the worst part, I think, of the holidays. Is like all the pressure there is to have like great decorations, great gifts. Like, your whole life has to be like, I'm like, in this economy, how sustainable is Christmas? I'm not even baptized.
Yeah, the last
No,
few
that's
years I have
real.
started like reflecting more on how I spend money on holiday things and like what I really care about. And if I don't care about it, why am I
Yeah.
doing it?
Yeah.
Once my mom realized all three of her kids knew there wasn't a Santa, we celebrate differently. So we don't do or exchange gifts. We do that in the new year because my mom's birthday is in January. But we like spend time together. It's important to do that around the holiday time. Only because more people have time off, not necessarily because it's a particular holiday. So that's how we started to do it as soon as we discovered, oh, mom bought these gifts. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to be really into gifts when I was a kid. And then now as an adult, like whenever somebody asks me, I'm like, I don't really need anything. You know, like I think the biggest gifts anybody could give you are like their time, their attention. It's like the one thing they could never get back, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think I'll leave it for when I have kids. Like, yeah. What do you think, Lucy?
Lucy said, I want some gifts.
Lucy's like, I better get my yearly, like, stocking. Yeah, you saw her? She was like, yeah. Uh-huh. I'm surprised she has stayed on me this long. I think it's because I've been gone for a month. So she's like, she's
making up for lost time.
Yeah, she never does this. She usually gets up and gets like right off. Yeah.
All right, this last song is When Christmas Comes to Our House by Dottie Evans and the Brigadiers Quartet. It was released on Waldorf Music Hall Records in 1955. So this is another deep track. Like this album, like my mom got when she was a kid, and like so I grew up listening to it, but I have yet to meet anyone outside of my family that has any idea what it is. I tried to buy it for myself. I had to buy a record. I'm like, I don't even have a record player yet.
Sorry.
Wow.
But like this is Christmas to me. It's just this random little record it's like a compilation. My mom was a military brat, so I think she might have gotten it through something related to do with the military. So this is another song that I could only find on YouTube. It's just, a nice little festive song.
I love whatever this sound is. I love it. Like
yes.
I almost picked like Rocking Around the Christmas Tree or Jingle Bell Rock, like that old like 1950s whatever Christmas music.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for it. I'm a sucker.
Yeah. I also love a good like what is the barbershop quartets, I love those like little musical groups. I've always wanted I've never had a good Valentine's Day, but what if I ever do, I hope whoever's dating me gets me a barbershop quartet. Like that's like one thing I've always wanted because I think they're so adorable.
Listeners,
and, how do they
take
harmonize?
note.
Take note. If you want to win over Carla, barbershop quartet.
It's like one of those things that just like I think it's so cute. They're all like dressed in the same and how they harmonize. I love that. Yeah.
I like the song cover or the visual, the cover. It looks the way it sounds.
It really does. Has that round tree with tinsel like thrown up all over it.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to know. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I want to know what color hair does the mailman have? Because I notice mom and dad there are brunettes, and they've got some very red-headed children. So,
although it looks like mom could have some red in there, like it's the aged dark red, possibly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're giving her some space there.
Heritage.
Right. All right.
I mean,
that is our show. Elijah, you win just for that second track. Like it was so unhinged. Like my life is changed.
It's remarkable. It's talk about it tells a whole story. It tells a whole story about an insane family that don't have their priorities straight. It's got tragedy, it's got romance, it's got bus crashes.
It's Shakespearean.
It really is, yeah. I'm so grateful for whoever showed me that, because now I show it to literally everyone whenever the topic of Christmas music comes up.
It's a Shakespearean Christmas.
It really is.
I don't know how it sounds to y'all, but I have bells on the door, the Artemis rings, so it sounds like Santa on the roof.
It does. That's perfect.
Daddy's
Thank you, Artemis.
home.
Exactly. It's going to be a good old-fashioned Christmas.
Yeah.
All right, Elijah, where can people find you online?
I am most active, I think, on Instagram, elijah.b.moore. And I don't know, you can come to my house. I'm pretty chill.
All right.
And yeah, I think Elijah620 on Twitter. I'm not calling it X.
Right. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, same. We're
All right.
Twitter gals too.
Mm-hmm. Well, we will be back every week with another episode, so be sure to hit subscribe. You can follow us everywhere at Discourse Podcast. That's Discourse with 2 C's. And of course, find the playlist of everything on Spotify and Tidal. You have been a wonderful audience. Good night.
Good night.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.